I see trees of...
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Unabashedly Uneducated Moronic Ramblings, where I ramble moronically on a topic of which I am unabashedly uneducated. Dolittle was directed by Stephen Gaghan and stars Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Dolittle, a veterinarian with the ability to communicate with animals in their own various languages. Dolittle is based on a series of children's books by Hugh Lofting, and unlike the Dr. Dolittle movie starring Eddie Murphy, which set the character in modern-day America, Dolittle is set in the early to mid-1800s, which is also the setting for the book series. Now, Dolittle is not a very interesting movie. Let me be more specific. The premise for Dolittle is interesting. The resultant movie, however, is not. Now, I know I'm going to get crap from people saying, well, it's intended for children, not a man in his mid-40s. I get that. But if I were to make a list of my top 50 movies right now, half of it would be Disney and Pixar stuff, which, just like Dolittle, are intended for children, but unlike Dolittle, are good movies. I've been trying to pinpoint why Dolittle came off so lackluster for me, and I think I've narrowed it down to two reasons. Reason one, Robert Downey Jr. Dolittle as a character, at least with regards to this film, is difficult to like. Yes, they give him justification for his current state of mind, but so what? Just because he has a reason for behaving the way he does doesn't make it right, or noble, or honorable, or even tolerable. I just wanted to smack the dude. It doesn't help that Downey chose a Welsh accent spoken with a gruff, breathy affectation that just grates on the nerves. Reason two, the lack of a strong secondary character. Now rest assured, Dolittle does not want for star power. Unfortunately, most of that star power is voice talent for the CGI animals. Emma Thompson is a macaw, Rami Malek is a gorilla, John Cena is a polar bear, Tom Holland is a dog, Kumail Nanjiani is an ostrich, Octavia Spencer is a duck, Ralph Fiennes is a tiger, Craig Robinson's a squirrel, Selena Gomez is a giraffe, all animals. But what about the live-action characters? Well, let's start at the top and work our way down. We have Antonio Banderas as King Rasuli, who I have to say is a bright, if brief, ray of sunlight in an otherwise murky mess. Banderas oozes charm, and honestly, I'm not sure the man is capable of giving a bad performance. That said, I wouldn't actually consider him a main character, as he's only in about 10, maybe 15 minutes of the movie total. Next up, we have Harry Collette as Tommy Stubbins. Stubbins is reluctantly taken on by Dolittle as an apprentice, and that's pretty much it. Next to Dolittle, Stubbins gets most of the screen time, but for most of it, you forget he's there. Yes, even when he's supposed to be the focus of what's going on. Don't worry, I don't get it either. Realistically, he's used to introduce us to Dolittle at the beginning of the movie, after which he's mostly just background noise. We also have Michael Sheen as Dr. Blair Mudley, and Jim Broadbent as Lord Thomas Bagley. That's right, kids. Dr. Mud and Lord Bad. They are the antagonists of the film, but barely so. Both of these guys are fantastic actors that are completely wasted on poorly written characters. Broadbent gets maybe 5 minutes of screen time, making it hard to dislike someone we know so little about. Sheen gets notably more screen time, but aside from a running joke about his lack of chin, he could hardly be called a memorable character, and serves only to add unneeded tension to a situation that would have been better served by including some much-needed character development. Aside from that, there are a couple of other characters that simply aren't worth talking about. Even the character that provides the MacGuffin around which the whole story is built only gets a couple of lines. The acting, save Banderas, is passable, if only just. The CGI is okay most of the time and pretty bad the rest. The plot is simple and the story is highly predictable. Dolittle is nothing if not forgettable. I mean, Danny Elfman, who composed some of the most memorable music scores of all time, wrote the score for this movie, and I didn't even realize it until the end credits. That's how forgettable this movie is. I'm sure younger kids will enjoy this movie. After all, spoilers ahead, the big climactic showdown ends with what is essentially an oversized colon cleanse. That said, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 stars. Just because you can get kids to laugh doesn't mean you actually have a good movie. But hey, that's just my opinion. Thanks for sitting through my rambling, and I'll see y'all again soon.